How's it going? Today I'm going to take some very small seed out of a kiwi fruit. I'm going to demonstrate to you how easy it is, because if you've ever tried to take small seed out of fruit, you'll understand that it's a little bit tricky and a little bit complicated. But this method here, there's something that my grandfather taught me many moons ago, and I still use it to this day. Now, you don't need to rinse it with this method. You don't need water or anything like that. Just a little bit of time, and in between you can walk away and have a drink or have something to eat and stuff like that, and just allow it to do what it's got to do. So that's enough talking, let's get into it. So the only tools that you'll need for this is a roll of paper towel. I love this stuff, I use it for everything. When I'm barbecuing, kitchen, great for cleaning up after the kids. Cheap as cheap, and really good if you're into saving seeds. So paper towel, a little knife. I use a knife about this big. You can use a bigger knife, it doesn't really matter. Just make sure it's got a little bit of an edge on it, a little bit of a point. It'll make it a lot easier to pick those little seeds up and move them around and all that sort of stuff. Next thing you're going to need, and this is the most important thing if you want to take seeds out, is a little piece of fruit that's got very small seeds. And in this case here, it's a little kiwi fruit. I love these things, they're just delicious. And I ate half this morning for brekkie, and then I thought, I haven't actually done a video on how to do this yet. So here's our little test subject for the day, a little half a kiwi fruit. And as you can see, the seeds are just ridiculously small. So the first thing I want to do is I just want to tear off some paper towel. I just want to get myself organised. And I just want about 3 of these, and you'll see why in a minute. They get laid out. Fold them over like that. You can do that as many times as you want. Depends on the thickness of the paper towel too. This is pretty absorbent, this stuff, so just wrapped over twice like that's fine. What we're going to do now is just use the knife and just pull those little seeds out of the fruit. And then we just keep going through, and we just keep spreading them on that paper towel there, like that. You can see how I've cut the fruit down the middle too, because of how these little fruit grow. It makes it a lot easier to get the seed if you chop it this way instead of cutting it the other way. So you keep doing that, keep doing that. And as you can see, this paper towel is absorbing pretty much all of that liquid and all that pulp. And this method works with pretty much all types of fruit that have very small seeds. Just like that. When you get to this stage, if you're going to plant these seeds straight away, you can just leave all this dry and then simply tear those bits of paper off that have got that seed, plant it straight in the soil. That's a really easy way to do it if you're going to plant them straight away, because once this dries, it's almost impossible to remove this seed off that paper. So all you do now is let that sit for 10 minutes or so, and just let that paper towel do its thing. I'll be back in a sec. So I've had this sitting for a little bit. All we want to do now is we want to move this seed, we scrape it off, and we put it back onto this towel here. Just like that. Spread, spread. Just be a little bit careful when you're spreading it so you don't crush the little seeds. It's nice and light. And as you can see, the more times you do this, the less pulp you're going to end up with on those little seeds. Just like that. Keep moving them around. I've seen people do this with water and rinsing, and I reckon this way is heaps better. A lot cleaner, a lot faster. So you can see the importance of a knife with a bit of a point on it and a bit of an edge. Allows you to muck around with it a bit better. So you can see the difference now. You can see how much moisture that this one's got compared to this one. So by the time I put these Sid now onto that third piece, she should be pretty much dry. You can see now that there's not a lot of moisture left on this. So I take my knife, edge down, and just very lightly scrape like that. They all end up on my knife. I simply transfer these ones now onto this one, and you can see they're starting to bounce around. There's not a lot of moisture on them left anymore. Get these ones, put them on there like that. Just like that. So after they've dried a little bit longer, you can simply get your finger and then just lightly run over the seeds. That'll separate them if they are still stuck to that paper, and it'll also remove that last little bit of remaining moisture and pulp. And you see they're moving around quite well now. Only a few are still sticking to my finger, which is good, which tells me that they're getting dry. And that is pretty much done job. I'll just leave them on this paper now for probably the rest of the afternoon, just to let them air dry. And I'll use this little process with my fingers again, probably just before I put them into a bag. But you can be rest assured that these seeds are now pretty much dry, as they are now. But I like to just make sure before I do store them away in an airtight bag. Another good way to check if I get this now. They're all sort of falling into that middle. That's a good thing. So that's it. That's all I've got to do with this. No more on my fingers. And that's it. Perfectly clean seeds. No mess, no fuss, no dramas. And I've now got a heap more little kiwi fruit seeds that I can store away. So there you have it. Done job. So there you go. A very simple technique that will allow you to extract very small seed out of fruit. This will work with any fruit that's got small seeds. Just a little bit of patience, but this technique is definitely superior to a lot of others that I've seen. So anyway, good luck with that. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell. I know what that bell does now. I'm very excited about that. It'll give you little notifications of when I make a new video. So that's a good thing. So thanks again everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. No matter where you are in the world, I hope you're growing food. See you later. Bye bye.